Surrey City Councillor Barinder Rasode this morning is about Surrey and what is happening in that part of our community that is causing, well, the crime rate has dropped, but the murder rate continues to rise. What do you see as a community leader that is going on in Surrey that is causing this to happen?
First comment is Surrey is so much more about what's going on in the tragic incidents that we've had to deal with. We have 6 very distinct town centres that are thriving both in terms of business and community engagement and involvement, but certainly as any growing city, 1,200 people a month coming to our city, more children, more people under the age of 19 than any city in the country. Number of seniors going up by 179%, and certainly challenges that we see regionally, whether it's with organized gang criminal activity, whether it's with issues of mental illness or addictions issues, people self-medicating. So certainly in some pockets there's some work that we have to do. The Newton Town Centre is the tragic place of where Julie Pascal, a mother and a volunteer, sympathies go to her family. This one has shaken people to their core.
It really has,
yes.
And that's where I need to jump in, because there are people watching right now who live in that area and are thinking, what am I going to do? How do I feel confident and comfortable going to the grocery store? She was going from her car to the arena. Like, what is the advice that is being given to the residents of Newton in particular and these pockets of Surrey where you say that some things have gotten out of control?
Well, definitely one thing is that we encourage and support people towards our community rec centres to get youth off the street, seniors programming, children's programming. So honestly, everybody in the city, business, all of City Council, all staff, completely, utterly outraged that this has happened. Definitely have full confidence in the RCMP. If anybody has any tips, any information, nothing is too small. Please call it in. But what we do have to look at are what are some of the things that we need to take a look at and what can we do better.
Right.
Definitely there'll be an evaluation of lighting at all of the rec centres, cameras. They already exist at the rec centres, but do we need to upgrade the technology? Are we making sure bushes are clear? At a broader level as a city, we've done a very good job, and our city council works very well because, you know what, we are known for the fact that we don't have a problem saying that we need to do things better.
Great.
Under Mayor Watson's Surrey First Council leadership, that has happened over and over again, and this is an opportunity for us to take a look at some of the zoning decisions we've made around land use. Are we advocating enough? And we have the provincial government around support for mental illness and drug addiction. Federal government's door, we actually now want to break down and say, when are we going to get serious about prolific offenders? Why are we letting these people into our communities and neighborhoods over and over and over again? Some with rap sheets of up to 1,000 crimes, and that's not an exaggeration. So we are very aggressive as a city in terms of bylaw enforcement, but one of the things we do need to do better in Newton, it's a largest town centre. We need to have community organized. We're working on a business improvement association in the area, but as community organizes, we have to make sure we're being responsive in a timely fashion, and that's one thing I think that we could do better in Newton.
So as far as the community goes, if somebody is sitting right now and going, I want to be a part of this conversation, I want to talk about my fears, where can they go? What can they do?
Well, we've been very fortunate. There's a couple of community associations in the last little while, one in Panorama, which is on the edge of Newton. One is Chronic, which there's a group of core Newton people who've been very active on and off for a number of years. Mm-hmm. We now have Re-Newton Nation, which has a Twitter handle, but they are actually organizing a community meeting on Monday, right, for people to talk about and get together, because I think one of the most important things is not only to have dialogue, but we need to have everybody at the table to come up with some more creative solutions. Obviously, we need to do things differently. Don't ever pretend to be an expert on anything. We're elected to be responsive and serve, but we need everybody at the table with new ideas.
And the mayor is very busy addressing these issues, certainly, and we thank you for taking the time to be with us here at Breakfast Television this morning. Again, the Newton Community Association meeting is Monday. At what time?
7 p.m. at the Newton Senior Centre.
At the Newton Senior Centre. So if you want to be heard, if you want to have that conversation with your city councillors, that is the place for you to go. And we keep in mind all of the basics. Don't walk alone at night. Come together as a community. Have a little bit of neighborhood watch. If you hear something odd, don't hesitate to make the phone call.
Absolutely. While we're doing all of those things, it is the responsibility, and I think that Newton is a good example of where all three levels of government could come together to do things differently, because I am saddened by the fact that we have to say to people, don't walk alone in our community. That's not what we're about, and we strive. As our crime rates are coming down, I think equally, though, what's important is the reality of people who live in neighborhoods, and if they don't feel safe, that's equally as important as what the numbers are saying to us.
If it's possible to fix what was New York City, which was dangerous to walk down, and then all of a sudden it was one of the safest cities in the country, it is possible for it to happen here in our community. We thank you
so much,
Barinder, for being here.